I think we're on the cusp of major changes in our industry. Major changes.
After the NCAA adopted a new name, image, and likeness policy on Wednesday, college athletes are now allowed to profit off their NIL. And the University of Arkansas is already well ahead of these new rules, launching their program, Flagship, in May.
Flagship's really just a personal branding program for our student athletes. And that encompasses the name, image, and likeness legislation, teaches them business fundamentals, business skills. We'll touch on taxes. We'll touch on agents and certifications and all those types of things. But in a nutshell, it's a personal branding program for our student athletes.
It's one of the first programs of its kind, a 5-week course teaching students the ins and outs of name, image, and likeness. And with athletes like Razorback wide receiver Trey Knox already signing a deal with PetSmart, Arkansas knew a program like this was needed.
What we wanted to do is to best prepare our student athletes to have success in this area. Just like we want them to be prepared to have success academically and athletically, we wanted their preparation to be above any of their colleagues across this country.
But could there be a downside to this new era of college sports, like cheating?
I think that's one of the reasons that legislation hasn't passed yet, because we haven't figured out in our industry how to legislate basic human integrity. Right. There has been cheating that's gone on in the recruiting business for decades, and we have not wrapped our arms around it enough. It's going to happen in the name, image, and likeness space, and we'll put the necessary guardrails up after we see how this plays out in the first couple of years.
Hunter Yurachek made clear Arkansas won't be one of them. But bad apples aside, the Razorbacks believe this new legislation will benefit all 465 athletes in their program.
Name, image, and likeness is certainly a vehicle. It's going to open up a ton of avenues for our student athletes. And again, that goes from the starter on the football team, maybe your starting quarterback, all the way down to a walk-on any of our other sports. As our fans start to think through, what this looks like, or start to pinpoint just some of our highest profile student athletes from an athletic standpoint, we've got some very creative student athletes here at the University of Arkansas, and all of them will benefit from this legislation, and we hope that all of them will benefit from Flagship.